All right, so I talked a lot about how the year 2020 was going to be huge. And then 2020 was huge. And then I talked about at the end of 2020, as you would have Saturn and Jupiter combined in Capricorn to move forward together into Aquarius at the exact same time as they combined in the sky right before our eyes. And that would be a big deal going into Aquarius. And it was. And then I was like, yo, shit is going to get kind of better for a while when Jupiter goes from Aquarius with Saturn to Pisces with Neptune. And that was like May through July. And to me, everything felt better and the energy was different and everybody was kind of calming down. I was like, everybody hold your damn horses, because Jupiter and Saturn will go retrograde and Jupiter will retrograde back into Aquarius. And, I was reminding people that everybody's having a whole lot less fun when Jupiter and Saturn are in Aquarius. We knew that. So that was what I was like, the pandemic's going to get freaking worse, man. And this is one of those videos where I am talking as your Planetary Defense Commander, Star-Lord, Dude Thor 7, the T, and Thor of THORnews for the last 8.5 years. So I don't, I'm okay with you having a different opinion, even if I disagree with one of your passion issues. Because, like, the plague is bad. And the point of this Erisian video, when I was saying shit would peak in craziness on the 27th of August, is that, like, the worst possible time to have everybody focused on Afghanistan after 20 years is now. Like, Alabama Hospital Association says that the state has moved from -11 to -29 ICU beds available today. New Zealand got one coronavirus case and shut down. Florida stopped reporting its data last week, where they were like, you know what? We're just straight up not going to report it anymore. And that was the weirdest, creepiest. And then again yesterday with 1,300 coronavirus deaths in the USA. And my governor, Governor Abnett, who just got coronavirus yesterday, he kind of took from Trump's, like, schools must open and masks for kids must be mandatory. I don't have kids, so, but I've been recommending remote learning for this school year. I think the pandemic will go away by May 2022, but this fall winter wave, we knew it was coming. 100% knew it was coming, man. And so everything is just freaking crazy right now. And I've been talking about the number of hospitalizations. Basically, hospitalizations lag 2 to 3 weeks behind, or deaths lag 2 to 3 weeks behind hospitalizations. And so the fact that we have reached 90,000, we went from like 14,000 at the start of July to now 90,000 in 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks. And so every 30,000 hospitalizations usually ends up, like, when we hit the peak of hospitalizations was 122,000 at the start of the year. And that led to a peak of 4,400 deaths a day in the USA from the coronavirus. And so now it looks like 2 to 3 weeks from now or later, we will see a day where we have 3,000 people pass away from the coronavirus. So this is a horrible, like, you have hurricane season surging, you have the pandemic season surging, you have wildfire season surging in the United States and the West Coast, into Canada, into Russia. Like, we're getting hit with just a record number of challenges at a record level. And the United States is more divided than it's ever been in possibly the history of America. And we've been around for a while. Not as long as like England or Afghanistan, but we've been around for a long time. And so we went into Afghanistan, I think, like 2 months after 9/11. We've been there for 20 years, and now it has descended into horrible chaos, and the Taliban has taken over. And it appears they're total rapey, murderous, torturing dicks. And so, yeah, we're reaching these chaos levels that we were thinking were going to happen that are leading up to the 27th. And that no matter what, the next few months are going to be there's going to be a lot of Pluto energy, a lot of Eris energy, a lot of Uranus energy, a lot of Saturn energy, and Mars freaking out energy. So I'm asking everybody to stay cool and pray as much as possible. And it seems like for the last few years, if someone was just trying to make money, whether it be fiat or digital crypto, the main thing would be telling people to do is not play defense and be mad and just blame a political party or political person. And I've been saying, yo, dude, never look for any politician to be your savior or the leader of the smartest, coolest, wisest. They're usually good at winning elections, man. But just like I feel I've predicted a lot of things, and one of my predictions is things will get a lot better in 2022. Jupiter heads back into Pisces in December. And so if I can survive and you can survive and we can survive till December, I think it's going to get better. And then Jupiter goes into Eris. And so I've been tracking the pandemic plague off of the 1918 flu. We've been following that timeline. Although everything is so much weirder now. And so, I've been saying last year, we had almost everybody in the USA in lockdown. You had remote learning. You had most people wearing masks. And this year, we haven't locked down anything. And masks are optional in a lot of places. Vaccines have still been optional. Not counting your employer or whatever. I'm just saying, so the only defense we played as a collective are the vaccines going into this second wave. And I have had 2 Moderna shots, and for 3.5 months, I had hundreds of people talking shit to me, calling me names, accusing me of taking the mark of the beast, and just got tons of fucking shit for getting the fucking vaccine. And guess what? So far, I haven't had any side effects. I think I'm still the same crazy guy who calls himself Star-Lord New Thor 7 the T, your planetary defense commander. So, I don't know. All the data on the Moderna seems to continue to show that it holds up very well even against the Delta variant. So our governor getting the credit, you don't want to get it. And that's what I'm trying to say. You want to avoid it. Even if it was a really, really strong flu, you don't want to. This is one of those years where you want to try and avoid that season's strong flu. Does that make sense? And I friends and family, some of my best friends, some of the family members I love, they're not vaccinated. So I'm just saying to the people who are vaccinated, dude, fucking please play fucking defense for the next 10 fucking months. And if somehow you do get the virus and it was no big deal, that means you are super lucky. In my opinion, everybody's welcome to have their own opinions, man. Yeah, this 4th of 5 Pluto square Eris energy on the 27th and the 9th of October. Those are 2 flashpoints we've been focusing on for a long time. And usually when I pick a date and I'm like, uh-oh, and it's good to watch out for. And it's to remind that, yeah, shit is going to get crazy. It's going to feel like the world's ending. Try not to be an asshole or a dick, although that gets harder every day because everybody is more stressed out. Whether or not you believe in the pandemic, we've all been going through it, or even the motions for a year and 8 months. Everybody's on edge. Everybody's frayed nerves. And the next 2 weeks are going to be 2 of the hardest weeks we've faced in a long time. I'm probably going to stay in my foxhole mostly until the Labor Day weekend, which will be a week past the 27th point I pointed out. And now we are watching Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, and where Hurricane Henry's going to go. The one thing that I've been super optimistic on and confident in is the atmospheric defense team. So far, they've done an A+ job. But Henry's going to be like the super big test, and we're probably going to have a lot more super big tests down the road. And Grace is also going to be a test, so I don't know, man. I'm just saying, it's just my reminder. Yeah, the Houston region has set a new record for COVID hospitalizations with 3,978. An astounding feat at a time when vaccines are widely available. And so, and we don't know how bad, like if this thing is going to continue to spike for 9 more days, like if we don't hit the peak on hospitalizations for 9 more days, that is a total fucking disaster. And we haven't even hit in the cold period of the winter. And yes, I know everybody's an expert on these things. Yes, I know everybody's got an opinion, but I've been covering it extremely well since it broke out, man. Like a year ago today, you had 50% of people in the world saying that the virus was an absolute hoax and it was just going to go away. And like I keep asking for prayers for Mike, who has children, and he is in the ICU on a ventilator with COVID complications. And I multiple people I know who are like, it is not good if you get it. It is very, very real. And I get that there's some people living in a like cosplay dream world where there's no virus happening, but it's happening. So it's like being yelled at by flat earthers all the time. That's what it feels like to me. So it like just, you know, it's like the worst freaking possible time. The like Eris square Pluto. This is definitely one of the like 9 days leading events where it was not handled well. It did not help anything right now, and a time where everybody needs to be focusing. And so, I don't know, just stay cool, man. One of the ways I have been forcing myself to be in a good mood is I am grateful that I am still alive today. And I feel like I could die any day. And I still have electricity, a place to live and sleep. I still have food, cigarettes, might buy beer later, go live. I don't know, it's like everybody deals with everything in their own way. Like people just like to complain about the government or blame the government all the time. Like that's how they deal with shit. And that is not how I deal with it. But I do need everyone to send your magical healing prayers to Mike and everybody on the planet. We all need a little extra. This is Arizona, I think. But then I feel like a fool for asking people to work together now. Because I know it seems like the time that people aren't going to work together very well over the next 10 days, possibly for the rest of the year. We need more miracles. And, you know, I'm back at the point where I'm having to refresh this chart every single day. And we're back at the point where we're over 1,000 American deaths from the coronavirus every day. And Henry was just like a pop-up storm. It just bing, it appeared. And then everybody was like, yeah, it's no threat. And then it was like, oh no, maybe it is a threat. And that threat is 4 days away. But this is the latest GFS model run. It is shifted back to the east. So if we are lucky, it will continue to shift east. Grace will be kept under a tropical storm. And Mike will have a miraculous recovery. The governor of Washington was just like, hey, COVID cases are skyrocketing in large part due to the Delta variant. The best way to protect everyone is to get vaccinated and wear a mask. Today I announced a vaccine requirement working in K-12, most childcare, early learning, and higher education. Remember, I don't call any of the shots, man, so yelling at me about shit really doesn't do much good. At least this year we don't have the people insisting that every time a wildfire broke out, it was started by Jewish space lasers. You know. Unrelated, Larry David screamed at Ellen Dershowitz at a grocery store over Trump ties. Seinfeld was a great show. This is the Grand Cayman Islands getting hit with Tropical Storm Grace. Brought to us by James Mann. And whoever the camera guys. Chuck Bryant. Thanks, Chuck. Yep. Crazy days ahead indeed. And Eris always seems to lead to windy events. We've been tracking Eris alignments here for years, man. Maybe I'll say again. It's been pointed out that this version of Henry from 1985 is trying to come back from the dead, but more wedge. There was a storm, I guess, in 1985 that hit like that. That was the storm from 1985. So we got multiple reasons to be watching. It may shift more this way if we're lucky. If it's not, it could be a lot closer to this. And I told y'all I would be trying to do my best to super cover this next 10 days for y'all as much as possible. Though I got to work on getting funnier, but you can definitely feel that people are more tense. And it's not really the jokiest time ever, you know. Tornado watches be up. Brought to us by Marina, Morocco. All right. This is in Frederick County and Washington County. Smoke them if you got them. This brought to us by Rob Maida. Yeah, we're watching everything, dude. We're watching everything. Hashtag Asteroid Fight Club. Yes, I can feel everybody's internal screaming, and I'm doing my best to tell jokes, keep everyone calm, and, if I can, sing the proper lullaby to get us through storms like these, which is like the next 2 weeks. Okay? Everybody stay cool. I will probably be talking to y'all in the very near future. God bless everyone.